Good afternoon and welcome along. It is 12 o'clock. It is Tuesday, and that means only one thing. I'm here to talk about something and nothing about HubSpot. This is my 20 and 21 sessions, and this week we're going to be chatting about chat bots. I hope you can see what I've done there. And so, for the very first time in these live sessions, I've actually invited along a very special guest. And that is Matt, who heads up our HubSpot activity here at Finally, and he's a wealth of knowledge on all things inbound. So I'm going to bring in Matt, and we're just going to have a general chat. So, welcome along, Matt.
Hello, nice to be here. First one,
First one, first ever live guest. I'm sure Steve will be very disappointed.
trendsetter, get me.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, as we love HubSpot, and your job here at Finally is to really look after that and nurture things. So I guess, firstly, these sessions I've been doing, I've been really talking people around the benefits of HubSpot and why to take up a free portal. So maybe just, give me your thoughts on, is that something that we should be doing, and all the things that we've been through and all the cool things you can do. Like, what's your take?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the wealth of tools that are available just for free are kind of incredible. A lot of people pay a lot of money for the sort of data tracking, the capture tracking, looking where people are going on a website, all the way through to managing deals, managing their service, and all those sorts of things. Obviously, the things that we're going to be talking about today are around chatbots and chat flows and things like that. Um, the free functionality that HubSpot offers, like to me, is just kind of mind blowing because you go to other kind of other platforms and it just you get charged quite a lot of money for
Yeah.
the thing. And what you can do from it, the impact that will have on your business in terms of reducing operational costs, increasing like sales, making things like your sales calls a heck of a lot easier because you can preload them with information. It's a no-brainer for me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, makes sense. So you touched on it, but and the title hopefully gives it away. But so we're going to have a general chat around chatbots. There's a lot of people that are a bit unsure on them. I know I've done a session here already, just touching on live chat specifically. We use live chat. Most of our customers do. I mean, there's some amazing stats around that, which I know you've got a few that you're going to share with us. Um, Today. But I mean, chat bots, it's a nervous area for a lot of people to go down. They're really worried about, oh, well, they're not going to, give the answers that people want, or they're going to be too generalized, or they're going to put people off because they know it's not actually a live human. But I think the world's changing, and I feel like actually they can add so much value to a business, and certainly, help encourage some initial conversations with customers that doesn't necessarily require that full human interaction at the early stages, but can still offer some great help and advice and take people maybe further down the funnel, if you want to call it that, but certainly get them to the point where they're having and ready to have that sales conversation with a representative. So, I mean, yeah, I know, firstly, I guess my first question is, what's the data saying?
Well, I mean, to kind of just jump back quickly before we jump onto the data too much, like you kind of hit the nail on the head there with what I think is the real problem with chatbots is the kind of the human element, right? If you go to a live chat or something like that, you kind of hit it up and you're going there to get some kind of support, type in your question, and then all of a sudden you get hit one of those loops, right, where it says, "What's your name? What's your email address?" Oh, that doesn't look like a right email address, or that doesn't look like a right phone number. You keep hitting that error, and you just like, I just have a question
Yeah,
that I want to
yeah,
ask,
please
and I need
help.
it answered. Yeah, exactly, and that comes down to expectations, really. So if you go to a website and you expect to speak to a person, then the kind of the business has to deliver on that. You have to have a person on the other end. If you go to a website and you see that it's a bot, and you can see straight away, right, this is a chat bot. If I start talking to this thing, it's going to give me some preloaded
Yeah,
answers. Now, most people are kind of sensible enough to go, well, if I give it some free form kind of question, then chances are it's not going to be able to respond, or it's going to get stuck or whatever. Um, but if I go with what is predetermined, so most good people who have programmed a good chatbot will have kind of pre-programmed question answer type thing. You can kind of solve problems up front. And it's, like I said, it's all about setting those expectations really, really early, like of what kind of experience you're going to get, and kind of managing that as well. So like the way we do it, and this is by no means, I'm not saying that we are the gold standard by any stretch of the imagination. There's a whole lot more we could be doing. But the way we do it is we open with a clear, this is a faceless bot kind of message. And then you end it with, okay, well, if you want to be connected to one of our like people who are online, check whether there's someone online to actually receive that call, that message. Then you can kind of route that through. But yeah, I mean, going to the data, you look at stats at the moment, and over 50% of customers expect 24-hour service, and you have to meet that expectation as well. You can't just not have a live chat because like there's nobody available. You have to be able to respond in some way, whether that is a live chat bot that's going to deliver question answer, or whether it's a knowledge base where it can be searched and deliver an answer in a similar sort of way. But yeah, that in itself is quite a worrying stat that, because if you don't have it, that's 50% of your customers.
That's a hell of a lot, especially when, they say that in this day and age that over 70% of a buyer's decision is made before that first conversation. So, they're visiting people's websites with the fundamental purpose to establish knowledge and identify whether the company they're looking at can help them or what their pricing is. And still so many people don't offer that. They want to kind of get people on the phone, or they want them to fill out a form. Why would someone fill out a form if they kind of don't know what they're going to get? What's the expectations? I think exactly as you hit the nail on the head with the kind of expectation management. I think particularly we're so busy as consumers and individuals, and even in business, that we're servicing our customers, and we want to offer the best service we possibly can. And whilst prospect is great, actually we don't want to be wasting time with people where there's just fundamentally a poor fit. And so if we can kind of use our websites and all the tools such as chat and chat bots to help people kind of almost help themselves, and then when they have those conversations, they're really ready. And I know we do that on our own side, don't we? Like we can talk to somebody, ask them if there's a problem, try and kind of identify what that is, so that when then they're handed off to typically myself, I kind of have a little bit of knowledge, so that conversation's already warm as we start. Like I get a notification through HubSpot saying that somebody's on the website, they want to speak to you, and obviously my availability can then be checked, and the chat can continue. So talking about the free tools specifically, because that's kind of where we're trying to champion for all those people watching that kind of aren't sure whether to part with their hard-earned cash just yet. What can we do with the HubSpot free tools? Like some of the stuff you've spoken about in terms of having some initial questions, is that all doable?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So from a very basic perspective, qualifying leads can be done using one of the free HubSpot chat flows. It's a simple linear question answer process. And obviously you wouldn't do that maybe on your homepage, but if someone's on your pricing page, or if they're on a product page or something like that, you can target that page specifically and say, are you interested in getting in touch? Or even if they're on a contact page and they're toying with the idea of filling out the inquiry form, rather than them filling out a form, an interactive question answer is far more engaging. It feels far more kind of active, if you like. It feels like you're going to get something almost immediately back from it.
You're having a
conversation.
So
inside of HubSpot,
how we all want to
exactly. Even if it's with a bot, it's still got some kind of reciprocal conversational nature. So inside of HubSpot, you can ask for any kind of data point you want, really, inside of the free tools. So you can pre-qualify, you can set up, let's say you only wanted to talk to people who have, who are B2B, who work in a specific industry, whose revenue is a certain amount, who have a specific number of employees. You can front load that chat with those questions and ask, what industry are you in? Are you B2B? What's your annual revenue? What's your employee size? What's your company size, etc. And then you can route that where you want it. That obviously that chat will come in, and your team can then decide what they're going to do with it. On the free level, there isn't any kind of specific sending to specific sales members, but anyone who is monitoring monitoring chat at a free level, we'll be able to see that, and we'll get that notification that says we've got a chat coming. Go and deal with it. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you get all that information. You can turn it around straight away, can't you? You can just respond and say, "I'm sorry, we don't deal with people in this industry. This is our specialism, etc., etc." And you haven't wasted time sending an email, getting that back and forth, that email thread. You can increase your sales massively. I think the stat was 67% or 70%, something like that, increase in sales on average, which is, it's madness just from preloading and using things like qualifying leads at that chat level.
Why wouldn't you? So just to stop you in your tracks, we've actually reached the halfway stage. We're 10 minutes in. I know time flies when you're having such great fun. Obviously, I've got Matt along today, which has been really good. But if anyone watching has got any very specific questions for either myself or Matt, please fire them into the chat window, and we will get those answered. So I'm going to jump back now and rejoin Matt, and we'll carry on talking. Right, back with you, Matt. So we've got about 9 minutes left in today's session. So kind of what can we really share with the people watching to kind of how do they get started? What would be the first port of call? Like, is there a specific kind of tried and trusted, can't get my words out, set of bot actions that work really well?
Well, the great thing about HubSpot, without sounding too much like a promo for HubSpot, is that they have preloaded chatbot kind of templates anyway. So you'll get things at a free level. I think you get the meeting bookings chat you can do, which is where it will automatically sync up to your connected calendar. You can send people to a specific calendar link or rather, it'll ask for email address, name, using that calendar link, and we'll book that meeting for you. No need to send anybody anywhere, and it will just add in all that information. There's the qualifying leads bot as well that we talked about, and that comes preloaded again with sort of the questions that you might want to ask. But then, you can go in and just use those templates as a starting block and just adjust them as you want. If you don't want to ask a specific question in the template, delete it out, replace it with something else, and you pull data from any of the using any of the properties or into any of the properties inside of your CRM. So they have some really powerful templates just to get started with.
That jumped to my mind. It's pretty powerful stuff, considering it is free and almost a no-brainer. Let's get people using this. Let's get it set up, and start helping you to warm up your prospects and ultimately with that sort of stat of helping to close deals. Why wouldn't you be doing this? So what's the next step? What's the next stage? I mean, you kind of touched on having specific chatbots per page. Again, is that something that can be done in the free tools?
Yeah, definitely. So once you've set up those initial chat flows, going back in and maybe cloning them and targeting specific pages with specific messaging, and maybe sort of predicting what questions people are going to be asking on say, let's say for us, we have our page. If someone visits the video service page, we can have a chatbot that says, do you have a budget for video? Are you looking for any kind of video in particular? And just kind of gather all that information, all that data before that inquiry actually comes through. Again, just preloading that chatbot with the questions that people normally ask. As a salesperson, I have no doubt that you probably hear the same sort of 5 to 10 questions on most calls, on most discovery calls or exploratory calls or whatever else. If we then preload a chat flow on a specific page, say the video page or whatever, you can answer that question, and that inquiry doesn't need to come to you. That's your time saved. That's the contact doesn't waste any time kind of getting in touch. If they don't need to, if they've qualified removed themselves, if you like unqualified themselves, then it's saving loads of time. If they're qualified, then great. You've already got that information. You can enter that sales process armed better than you are before.
Yeah, and ultimately leads to better conversation, leads to better experience. Because again, often what I hear and what a lot of customers say is, but it's for B2C. We're a B2B business. People don't use live chats. But I think again, It's just not what the stats are saying, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think from the examples that we've given here, like especially with the meeting bookings, things like that are invaluable. Like if you think how much, like I know for me, even for me as someone who's in the delivery team, um, before using a meeting booking link, it would take 5, 6 emails to find out a good time, date, whatever for a call that works for
Yeah, it's
everybody,
the
right?
classic,
But
isn't it?
if
You
you can
like
have a chat,
block out a load of slots, or my old school, oh, I'm free between 12 and 3, and you send it off, and then by the time they get back, they go,
yeah,
oh, I'll take 2. Like, not actually free at
yeah,
2 now.
yeah, exactly,
So yeah, I mean, the
exactly.
meeting
So
booking is the best tool that I love to use it. Like, here's my diary, pick something that suits you.
yeah, so if you pair that with a chat bot on the front end, and you can specify a list of contacts. Let's say you have 100 target contacts, right? That you want to, if they visit the website, you want to hit them with a specific message that says, "Hey, I'm Rob. Here's my meeting booking link. Let's chat." Right? When if you've got that list, then you can build that chat really easily. It's literally just selecting the list in the back end, and it will just pop up, and you don't have to do anything. Your target list will get the message that you want them to get, which is quite frankly kind of ridiculous for a free tool when you
Yeah.
when you think about you're not paying a penny for it.
Definitely. And again, you can tie that in with some of the other bits that we've looked at in the previous sessions around like landing pages and stuff. I mean, really, there's no excuse not to have a very tailored, personal approach to this. But, the free tools give you so much. And then even just that little step up to starter, I mean, it's not a huge leap. And again, the like kind of abundance of extras that you suddenly get added on become mind blowing, really.
It's not is I think it's what is it, 50 or 60 pounds a month at the moment,
Yeah.
and it now includes the operations hub as now as well, operations hub starter, which means that all the data coming in can be cleaned properly, and it just keeps everything really really nice and clean for you, which is frankly just madness if we're honest.
So I'm
But
going to
yeah,
put you
like
on
I
the
say,
spot here. So for everyone watching, they've spoken about these chat bots, chat flows. So can I say to the world that, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a kind of really cool how to get this set up video, and we'll post it on our YouTube channel. So, myself and Matt will put something together. So please go across to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. It's full of a wealth of great videos just like these. My sessions go there every week. I know that Chris puts out some amazing videos around social. Ella's got some on SEO. So we're looking to build more and more of those. So please do go across to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Obviously, you can follow us on LinkedIn, hashtag Finally Engine Room. We really appreciate your giving us a little like on there. And as ever, just feel free to connect with myself. You can connect with Matt directly. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Send us a DM. And ultimately we're here to help, so please do take us up on that. We love to kind of share our knowledge. We love HubSpot, as you hopefully can tell from our chat here today. It provides so much for nothing. But any of you are kind of at the stage where you'd like to know a little bit more, again, be more than happy to arrange that kind of demonstration. Again, Matt would be able to book that on. I'm sure he's got a meeting booking link that we can get across to you, and you can book in, have a demo, and we can talk you through the power of some of the paid tools. Matt, thanks ever so much for joining me. It's been a very useful 20 minutes. And, I hope that some people take out of this chatbots aren't all the evilness that people believe. They can be really helpful, and ultimately they are going to help you to increase your sales. So for now, for the Tuesday that we're on, I'm going to call that time. It's been a great 20 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thanks very much.
thank you for having me.